Okay, so after the merging, which I'm going to do later, oopsie, okay, so let's say the first household, remember, they claim they have radio. So after the merging, for both members who really come from the same household, number one, they would have the same answer on the radio. And similarly for the second household, the household heads claim no radios. Then after the merging, for both persons one and two from household number two or the unique number two, they would have the same answer on radio ownership. And similar explanation applied to the other households. So I will just do it for one more. Okay, so this is something you are going to see after the merging. Okay, I hope I explained clearly. So I don't think I need this Excel file anymore. Okay, so we can move on to the next question. Okay, now we really open the person file. Okay, I think there are questions asked on whether the person is an employee, question 18.11 and then 18.12, whether you are self-employed. So let's just tap this. Okay, it's located at the bottom. Okay, I just want to make sure yes is associated with category 1. Okay, indeed 1 stands for yes, and then I just want to check the other one, whether you are employees or not. Again, no labels. So 1 stands for yes. So I'm going to generate a dummy variable to distinguish those who are employed. I call it EMPL. First of all, I assume it is equal to 0 for everyone. And replace. The person is really employed if... I actually forgot the command, actually. Okay, please allow me to cheat a little bit. Okay. If he claims he is an employee, so it is equal to 1, or remember, you need to make use of the shift key to look for that vertical line in your keyboard, or for the self-employed questions, he claims he is self-employed. Okay, I leave it for 5 seconds. Okay. And then the label, I can just give a brief description. EMPL, I would say the person is either employee or self-employed as an entrepreneur. But in both cases, but the person is working, so he should be defined as an employee. Okay, and then the next one. Okay, the order actually. Okay, what if I prefer to have this dummy located after the self-employed variable? I think you learned the order command before, right at the beginning. Okay, I want to order this, but I can specify. You can put it after a particular variable. Okay, so this is how you run this command. Okay, now do you see the change? You can even ask Stata, can you put this employee dummy before a particular variable? So let's do this again. Order employee, put this before the employee questions. Okay, before or after. So this time before. So do you see the change over there? Okay. Okay. The next one. I just want to rename some of the demographic variables. Okay, so I want to rename, I just want to test your own knowledge. Rename this as gender. Rename this Q13 variable as race. And then rename this Q14 variable as age. Okay? And then for the next one, maybe I want to find out for the working age population aged 15 to 65, how many of them are employed? So tab employed, but with the restriction, if age is between 15 and 65. And this time I have to use person weight, p weight. Oops, I have to include both square bracket and round bracket actually. Okay. This is a person level file, so obviously it makes sense I would use p weight or person weight. And I think stats.sa labeled the variable incorrectly. It is actually the weight for the person, but not for the household. Okay, so at the time of IES 2010, about 13% of the working age population, they were employed either as employees or self-employed. Okay, the next one, this is the easiest question. It's just the weighted number of the individuals by ethnicity groups. So tab race, integer, person weight, or p weight. Okay, self-explanatory. Okay. Next one, the merging, which I explained earlier. So data, combine data sets, form all pairwise combinations within groups. I want to merge with the HHH file. The key variable that helps merging the two files together, leave it unchanged, UQNR, unique household number. Options also leave it unchanged, second option. Then I think we can click OK. Tab merge, let's see if it is a perfect merge. Yes. And then we can drop the merge variable. Okay. Okay. Now I want to tap this quintile variable. Remember previously we derived the quintile at household level. We divide the households into 5 groups, 20% each. But now I want to tap this quintile, but using person weight. Okay, you won't see 20% in each quintile. The reason is quite straightforward because households from the poorest quintiles, they usually live in households with larger household size. Okay, so this is why it explains more people belonging to the poorest quintile, 26%. And then for the richest households, normally the household size is smaller. Okay. Okay. And then just to remind you, this is the weighted population number, 15 million at the time of IES 2010. Just to give you some interesting facts, at the time of doing this video, our population size is very close to 60 million. Okay, the next one. How can we derive the number of males aged 15 to 65 in each household? I think I can have an explanation here. Let me open a blank file. So maybe I just look at one household with 5 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then gender, maybe male, female. Let's say the first 3 are male, next 2 are female. Age, maybe 5 years old, 20, 30. Then the next 2 are 10 years old and 70 years old. Okay. I want to know the number of males aged 15 to 65. So the first thing I would do is I first generate a dummy to identify the people meeting the criteria. Let me type the criteria here. Male, 15 to 65 years. So how many of them actually meet the criteria? Both criteria. The first one is no, because he is younger than 15 years old. I think the second and the third persons, they met both criteria. The last 2 definitely no, they are females. So the first thing I would do is to generate a dummy. I just randomly give a name called XXX. And then, okay, maybe I'll do it for one more household. Again, I assume 5 people, maybe male, female, 10 years old, 20, 30, 40, 100. I think only 3 people meet the criteria. Let me use different colors. Okay. And then I will derive a variable, male 15 to 65. Let me stop for 30 seconds to make sure everyone can absorb the information. Okay. And then to create this variable, number of members, male members, age 15 to 65, I think what we need to do is just to add all the XXX for each household. So for this one, clearly there are two members aged male, age 15 to 65. And then similarly, for the second household, the answer would be 3. Okay. And now the question is, how can we type these commands? Okay, the answers are actually here, but let's type it, okay, instead of just executing the command. Okay. Okay, but I hope you can understand the explanation here. Okay. I really don't think I need Excel anymore. Okay. So first of all, generate xxx equals 0. Replace xxx equals 1 if if gender equals 1 and age is between 15 to 65. Let me just check the command just to make sure. Okay, I did the right thing. Okay. Okay. Now this is the new command. Let me type this and then I'll explain to you. Okay. So it means by sort unique number. So it actually means please do this command for each household.Egen instead of egen, I generate this variable, numbers of male age 15 to 65. It is equal to the sum of xxx, which I explained clearly in the Excel file. Okay. So let's open the actual starter file. Okay. So look at this household. I think we have one member meeting the criteria, male age 15 to 65. So the number of members, male 15 to 65, will be equal to 1. Okay, so you can see, which is equal to the sum of xxx, 1 plus 0 plus 0, clearly equals to 1. Okay, then I can give a description, label, variable, number of male members age 15 to 65 years. Okay. Okay, if you can understand this one, we can do the next one. Can you try to do this on your own? Number of females aged 15 to 65. Okay, but I think we need to drop the xxx. We don't need the xxx anymore. Okay. Okay. We can do the next one, which is quite interesting. Okay. For each household, I want to find out the age of the youngest member. Okay. By sort uqnr egen youngest equal to not the sum anymore, but I want to find out the minimum age in each household. Okay. So let's check quickly. So this household, the youngest person is aged 4 years old. Okay, got it.